everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. Here we've got two teams who will look to their running backs if they want to control the pace of the game. It's Jay Ajayi's Dolphins going up against Thomas Rawls' Seahawks. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Getting ready is the kicker, Andrew Franks. And off we go from Seattle. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
One of the more cerebral quarterbacks in the NFL, analyzes situations, watches a ton of tape, adapts his game to whatever is presented in front of him. And despite the fact he's been in the league for 6 years, the future is still bright for Russell Wilson.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. Give him 30 yards there. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
How in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
To throw is Wilson on 1st and 10. And incomplete on the deep ball. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
In music, the Seattle sound is distinctive. In the NFL, it's the Seattle running game. Usually ranked in the top 5 in the NFL. It fell to number 25 in 2016, and they're trying to revamp the offensive line and find a bell cow running back in order to get things moving again.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jordan Phillips busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Partner, I know that ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Wilson to throw. It's complete to Lockett. A very solid gain of 27. Fresh set of downs here. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Flushed out right.
Missed.
It will not go. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And a nice play on the end of it, an 18-yard touchdown run. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Jay Cutler from the Bears to the broadcast booth, sort of, and then all of a sudden signed August 6th by these Miami Dolphins. First practice Tuesday the 8th. Is that enough time to get him ready?
Well, I believe that it is, and I think Jay actually echoed that at his press conference where he talked about, cardiovascular. Not that big a deal for quarterbacks. It's much more that right arm that he has, and you and I both know that right arm will hold up under any circumstances. It's a great opportunity for him. I wish him luck. We'll see if he can ride the Dolphins into the playoffs yet again.
So he left you in the booth. Just don't do that to me, all right?
Hey,
don't go signing any contracts unexpectedly on me.
Trust me on this. No one's offering this guy $10 million to leave you.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here we go now.
They run again with Ajayi. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
KJ Wright just keeps getting better at outside linebacker. Long, lengthy guy, can rush the passer, can drop into coverage. Has great agility, though, to stay on his feet and make tackles, too.
And still has years ahead of him. Turned 27 in July. Native of Olive Branch, Mississippi. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. In his 3rd year now, here's the punter, Matt Darr, to kick this away. Back deep for the Seahawks, the All-Pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. This is taken at the 15. Able to spin free. Oh, nice move. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Throwing is Wilson. Escaping, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Lawrence Timmons able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard. On 2nd down, Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cameron Wake in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down. And now it's time for the starting lineup for the Miami Dolphins. Lost their second-round pick, Raekwon McMillan, to the injury. Where do they go from here?
Yeah, also lost starting corner Tony Lippett to an injury as well. So I think that what they do now is lean on one of their stronger positions, the defensive line, and Ndamukong Suh at tackle, Cameron Wake at end. They can put a lot of pressure on any offense in the NFL.
So 2nd and 10 here. Wilson to throw again. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. He got 29 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Now it's Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point try now for Walsh. And it's good to make it 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Well, CD, peeking around the league for a second, looking at quarterbacks. Dolphins, they've already lost Tannehill. A couple other teams, though, worried that they might not have their horse for the starting game, and that would be Cam Newton. And you got Andrew Luck in Indianapolis as well.
Yeah, not to mention Joe Flacco in Baltimore, right? I mean, Cam and Andrew share one thing, shoulder surgery. So they're wondering, will they be ready to go on the season opener? And then you flip it over to Joe Flacco, who came to camp, appeared to be ready to go, got injured in a weightlifting situation, and now they're hoping that he's ready for the season opener. You're talking about Cam played in the Super Bowl. Flacco won one, and Andrew Luck, we're expecting one in his future. Every time we leave a Seattle game, I have the PA guy's voice in my head. Tackle by Bobby Wagner.
Well, he had 167 tackles last year. Not only led the NFL, that was the most in a single season in Seahawk history.
And how about this? His second All-Pro nomination. This guy is sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone, making plays.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Michael Bennett may have missed 5 games in 2016, but still led his team in tackles for loss with 14.
And how does his pass rush help the secondary? Because I know it does.
Oh, it helps it in a big way because now the quarterback who has a clock in his head, that clock has to accelerate because they always think Michael Bennett is coming. That means you don't have to cover him for very long.
On 3rd down, Cutler. And it's caught by Parker. Now the ball comes loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
They make so many catches that are so tough, so acrobatic, so difficult that often surprises me when they actually turn the ball over. You know, when the ball actually comes free. It's amazing sometimes because of what we see them do on so many different plays.
Had the catch, but couldn't control it on the contact. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Baldwin. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. That goes for a gain of 31.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First down and goal to go from the 7th. Here's Rawls. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So we'll get a 2nd and goal when we come back. It's the Seahawks on top here early. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
It means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Walsh now for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's Thomas Rawls who finishes it off with a touchdown run. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. The This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Maybe a little sign of life here offensively, Charles. They get their first down. They didn't have any in quarter number 1.
And I think what we're seeing is great evidence of good scouting by both teams, right? Understanding what they like to do, their best plays, try and take those away early. So now we're seeing some adjustments, and they end up getting their first down. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground at the 47-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts the defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Now Wilson throwing again. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Here's Wilson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, no second-guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Now it's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left. Looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Cutler. And over the middle, this is Parker. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. And it's knocked away and incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Now Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 57 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point try now for Walsh. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul-searching now. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Mike Bennett coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They run with Ajayi. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he will find his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
He may be playing free safety while wrapped up in a corner's body, but Earl Thomas is the best center fielder in the game. He cleans up everything back there as far as I'm concerned. I think he just has intelligence, understands things, and boy, is he tough.
Here's Matt Darr now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
Company getting ready to go again on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, Wilson. Past the 20. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with his second touchdown here in this first half. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there's a bust in coverage.
Walsh now for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Throwing here, Cutler. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Thomas. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Dolphins on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is third down and 12. Here's Cutler to throw. And an alley to run. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up fourth down. Here's Matt Darr now. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Matt Darr now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Pulled in at the 24. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Seahawks are simply running the show in the first half. They've controlled the game and are way out in front. The Dolphins just need to figure out a way to bounce back. All right, let's roll those moving pictures. Third down from inside the 50. Wilson's got the completion here, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 18-yard line. Seahawks later on the drive. Wilson's able to spin away here, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown as they take a 7-0 lead. At the end of the first quarter, Russell Wilson finding the little motor scooter, Tyler Lockett, and he's going to go 16 yards for the score. Now following the fumble as they move out in front, 14-0. Russell Wilson hooking up with Doug Baldwin, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 7-yard line. Offense on the field now after the fumble. Rawls is going to head outside to the right, and he'll run it in from 5 yards out. About halfway through the second quarter, as they go up here at 21-0. Baldwin's by himself here, and this play will go for 6. First and 10. Seahawks pushing the lead to 28. Baldwin's wide open here on the catch, and this goes 44 yards for the score.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's Ajayi, and he'll get this one up to the 26. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. The Dolphins on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Cutler. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Huge huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point try now for Walsh. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
They'll begin the drive with Ajayi. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Let's go.
On second down, here's Cutler. Catch here, left side, Thomas. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
The Dolphins on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They go play action with Cutler. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Michael Bennett in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Here's Matt Darr now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's Baldwin. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 71 yards. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Walsh now for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left. Move. Now let's go.
To throw, Cutler. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This is Ajayi. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Matt Darr now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Now it's Lockett. What a spin. And here a juke. Tyler Lockett, the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 76 yards. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there, a punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Extra point try now for Walsh. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back And he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3-and-out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Now Cutler. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl quarterback, Richard Sherman, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Partner, you heard the whispers in 2016. You heard that maybe Richard Sherman's a little vulnerable out there on the corner, didn't you?
Well, if I'm playing against him at any point in the year, I don't want to give Richard Sherman any extra incentive or fuel to be motivated.
No, he doesn't really need it. This is one of the more intelligent guys playing the corner in the NFL, and has shown up in his play throughout his career.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance...
And he will score! Touchdown, Seattle! Doug Baldwin, 26 yards. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is
but
one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him...
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Mike Bennett able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Returnable for Lockett. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. A good pickup there, 22. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Wilson. For the left side, it's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 30 yards. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Walsh now for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now it's Cutler. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. To throw again is Cutler. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Cliff Averill able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now Cutler. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. And we'll get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who's just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to him.
Wilson wants to throw it. It's complete to Lockett. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Now Wilson on 1st down. His throw incomplete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. 2nd down now after the incompletion. Throwing again. Wilson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They are down big. They have not scored a single point I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing it.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
Here we go. 3-19.
Play action. Cutler. Now a desperation throw into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.